Hi guys, thanks for coming along to this video on the Mottai trading platform developed by Flex Trade in partnership with FP Markets. This is a video in the Selling Points Explained series in which I'm going to try to go through some selling points about the platform, some stuff from the website in just short little bites. So I'm trying to keep this video to between 5 and 10 minutes max, and so I'll have to go through the content quite quickly so we're not taking up too much of your time. Let's jump onto the website. So we've done a few of these other videos, but let's today talk about this one here. Mottai supports keyboard-friendly trading. Default hotkeys can be used to open widgets quickly and navigate through the platform. In addition, traders can employ custom hotkeys that can correspond to unique order tick configurations that suit their trading style. So let's look into this visually using the platform. What does that actually mean to make the platform keyboard-friendly? And look, my opinion is that ASX alternatives that you may be familiar with, one of the biggest frustrations is that there's not a lot of thought being put into in those systems using the keyboard effectively, the interplay between your mouse and your keyboard, having to go back and forth between the mouse and the keyboard to fill out an order ticket, you know, not being able to hit enter on some modification tickets to send it to market, and just no quick keys for common actions and processes that you're doing all the time with a mouse that could be much quicker. So we did put a bit of thought into that with this, and I just want to go through some of the main systems here, the main features of that selling point. So look, just being able to tab around the components on a given workspace without using the mouse is useful. And then when you get to one that you want to use, so tab, shift tab goes backwards. When you get to one that you want to use, you just start typing, right? CBA, tab. When you click on anything, like a chart for example, just start typing three-letter ticker code and then hit tab, and that'll enter it into the component you're working on, right? So we're down here into the order ticket, CBA, tab, and then you can get going from there. Right, so just being able to move around the system is good. But looking into the order tickets themselves, right? So we have various different order tickets in the system. I won't go into it in too much detail, but if you just want the simplest ticket with the absolute minimum ticker code, volume, price, order type, right? We've got that in the system here now. Ticker code, price, order type. Shift tab goes backwards, right? And enter at any time sends this order into the market. So let's say we're doing a different stock, maybe like an AKA. We want, let's just put the median ticket on there. Okay, so we want 250 units at a price of 10.50. Right, so as soon as you've got that filled out, enter sends that order into the market. Okay, and you can hit, and this is an embedded order ticket, so it doesn't disappear. You can go enter, fire multiple orders into the market. Just with the order tickets again, the shift tab goes backwards, like I said, tab goes forwards. Anything with an arrow on it, up or down, you can use the keyboard to go up and down. If it's a pick list of options, like order type, up and down again, goes from market to limit. When you're filling out volume, if you want 12,000 aka, just put 12, hit T. That's a little shortcut. So there's a lot of different things that go into making the system keyboard friendly, but most of it's just common sense thinking through what is the best option for you after you've pressed a particular button. Right, for example, if you don't have a price in the system and you've used the mouse to click on one of these bid volume, last traded price, ask volume, little buttons up the top. So if I want to buy at the ask now, I hit this, I'm straight back into the volume. I can tab back into the price. So there's just a lot that goes into thinking about how to make this as easy as possible. Okay, so let's look at this order that I've placed. What are the main two order processes? Cancellation, modification of volume or price. Right? You can again use a right-click functionality to cancel, but to make this more keyboard friendly, let's just hit F1. Let's have a look at what's in the system here. Control C to Control Z. Most of those options there are taking actions on particular orders that you would do otherwise with a right click. Okay, so we've got Control C for cancel, Control V for amend, we've got unpark orders, duplicate last ticket, Control Y. There's a whole bunch of things that you can use, but just the main ones there are having an order there, hitting Control C and just cancelling that order straight away. Okay, let's look at, I'll just use a different stock as an example. Right, so maybe LTR, 1,000 units. Just to show you in terms of multiple orders at the same time, right? So let's say we put a buy at 160, and then can we do something smaller, just because we're running out of margin. Okay, yeah, so I couldn't, that was not the right order size, that last one. Okay, so let's use so LTR here. What's my initial margin? Free equity. Let me have a look here. I've got 321. Okay, so I just need to keep my order size down a bit. Okay, so if I go in here, all right, just changing the workspace just so the workflow is a little bit different. If I go PLS here, and I want 100 units at, well, that's not big enough. I need 200 units. Okay, perfect. Okay, so 380, hit enter, and let's see if I can do one more. Okay, so just in here, you can highlight multiple orders here, okay, by holding Control or Shift on the keyboard, and then hit Control C on both of those, all right? So it's just shows you that you can highlight multiple things, use the keyboard to cancel those. If we look at amendments, okay, so if we're doing amendments, Control V is amending the order. You can see you're amending price more often than volume, in my opinion, so we've defaulted it to price. Hit 379, hit enter. Right, so you can't really make it too much easier than that. You can Control V, 380, enter. Right, and if you want to go to volume, Control V, Shift Tab, 201, enter. Okay, so that's keyboard friendly cancellation and modification of orders using these hotkeys here. Just having a look at the rest of the hotkeys, F1, between F1 and F12, there's a lot of bringing up a floating version of the component that you're using, right? So, you know, F2 brings up a floating version of the market depth. You know, F10 would give you a floating news component. Like, there's no news component on here, so I might just like to look at, you know, the news on PLS. I just hit F10. If there was no market depth, or I just wanted to look at another depth, I could just quickly bring up one, maybe change the ticket code. When I'm done with it, just hit X. Now, the other order tickets that are useful here, this F6 brings up an order ticket that is remembers the last thing you clicked on. So that was the PLS chart. But let's say it's let's say I've got PLS in the chart. I'm down here. F6 gives me TLS. I'm starting in the volume, so I'm going volume, tab, get my price, enter. F7 will give you a clear ticket that starts in the ticker code. So here we don't want to trade anything that's on the screen. Maybe it's something new, you know, maybe it's an MFG, 500 units, you know, $9, enter. Okay, so yeah, F6, 7, 8, and 9 will give you those four different, you know, the two buy orders in the ticker code or volume and the sell versions of those as well. Okay, let's look at custom hotkeys. That's the last thing that, you know, so you've already got order tickets that are customizable that you can tab around, that you can enter without a mouse. You can just use the keyboard. You've got your floating and your embedded versions. Now let's look at customizing those floating tickets a little bit more in case you've got a trading style which is, you know, you're commonly trading in, you know, similar units, or you want to pre-program some keyboard strokes that bring up a particular order ticket. Right, so that's saying we've got an order ticket here. We'll just make it the large version so we can see exactly what we're dealing with. So let's say, you know, basically you can have a keyboard combination that remembers any of these details. It doesn't matter if it's a, you can have some that relate to destination is best execution. You can have a few ASX CP order tickets that pop up quickly, some Chi-X or Chi-X mid, right? Like if you're more sophisticated, a bit more advanced trader. But let's just use an example where it's really simple. You want to buy and sell at 5,000 at 7,000 units at market, right? So it's just a simple example. Like, you know, you might have particular values in mind or round numbers. It doesn't matter. Hit this. Come to hotkeys. Put save position if you want it to pop up in the same place all the time. Put save template if you want it to be responsive to what you're clicking on. Okay, so simply we do 7K by MKT to indicate this one. Let's do Control Shift G. We'll flip it around to do the sell version, and we call this one 7K sell MKT. So we did G and H. All right, so I've just created two custom hotkeys for this really simple example of a particular trading style. When I hit F1, you can see all these ones I'm adding down to the bottom. I just did G and H. C and E were just some examples I did previously. So now you can see the more work you put into that, the more you can get some custom hotkeys that are responsive to your trading style and are additive to, decreasing the amount of time you need to bring up a ticket and seeing your trading opportunity very quickly and just being able to hit it, buy, sell, long, short, maybe even close an open position. It doesn't matter what it is. If you do put more work into it, you can see you can manage these here. So I can delete this from this menu here just by a click, and then we can use the Control-Shift-G, and the Control-Shift-H to bring up the other one as well if we need to. Okay, so Control-Shift-G, and then tab around if you wanted to change it, for example, or just Control-Shift-G, enter, if that's what you want to do straight away. Okay, thanks for listening to this video. See you next time, guys.